appreciate some more mentorship and just seeing him kind of value you guys a little bit more.
Right, yeah, really ask our opinion, especially with staffing or how long things are going to take. Uh, you know, he expects us to kind of take on a lot of the roles I think that he should be playing just because he's too busy, but yet he doesn't really, talk to us enough about those things. He just doesn't communicate enough, just leaves too many things unsaid or assumed.
Right. So you said you're feeling anger. Are there any other feelings associated with what's going on at work?
Fear, I think fear that I'm going to just be overworked forever and when's it going to end, and like not knowing, fear that, I just maybe don't know how to handle it, and so if I keep doing what I'm doing, then I'm going to keep being overworked and just feel overwhelmed, with not just the amount of work, but like thinking, okay, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, and when's it going to let up?
So, kind of on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being feeling a lot of fear, anger, overwhelmed, and 1 being not that much, where do you kind of find yourself right now?
I'd say like an 8.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
So if a miracle were to happen, and say tomorrow all those feelings were gone, what happened? What would it take to bring that down?
Like what outside forces would need to change that I would feel better?
Yeah, what would change at work to say bring that fear and that anxiety and feeling overwhelmed it down?
Maybe just have more people to delegate to,
Okay.
more communication, from my manager, more having him ask more questions. And then when I do come to him, because I've brought things up to him, not feeling like he's just going to blow it off,
just be aware of bringing more people on, or what part of his job do
Well,
you feel like you had to do?
he said he was gonna kind of teach me how to do that, of
Okay.
kind of man-hour planning and that type of thing. And he never did. And
Mhm.
then these jobs came up, and he didn't do a work man-hour
Mhm.
plan. And I did talk to him about, so what are you thinking and everything. And he just kind of blew it off
Mhm.
until finally, I just did it myself.
Mhm.
Um, and then he was like, okay, that makes sense, And then
Yeah.
we got another person, but that really um, upset me.
Yeah. I can see how that would be really upsetting, especially being in the position where it sounds like you're moving up pretty fast within your company and just wanting that discipleship, that mentorship, that guidance on how to better yourself and be a better asset for your boss.
Right.
But it sounds like you have really great communication skills. You're able to see what's needed as you're doing the project, and it sounds like the last time you went to your boss, he was pretty receptive and gave you what you needed, correct? Is that right when you
Right.
went to him? So, is there a way that that could kind of alleviate the stress for you if you're able to go to him and let him know what you need and
Yeah, I think I need to plan to do that on more of a regular basis. And
yeah.
something that I would think would be obvious is apparently not obvious to him. So I just need to really spell it out.
Yeah. Is that something that you feel like would fix the situation,
I think
or is
that would
that
really help.
yeah,
Yeah, and it annoys me to think of I'd have to do that, but I think
yeah.
it's what I need to do, and I think it's going to help.
Mhm. What does that feel like to you though, having to take part of the responsibility that you feel like should be on your boss?
Well, it's like it's not like it's I don't I'm capable of doing it, and I would definitely like the mentorship and
Mhm.
the skill with it. But one thing that's annoying about him is he never communicates like, okay, Jason, this is going to be your job now,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
or he just leaves it all up in the air, even though we've kind of talked about it.
Mhm.
To where like I don't know if he's thought about it, and I don't know if he expects me to do it,
Mhm.
you know, and try and talk about it, so we talk about it together.
Mhm.
I felt like it got blown off, until I really came out with a really concrete, hour by hour, what things are going to take.
Mhm.
Um, so I think that's really, I would like to either know whether that's something I need to consistently be doing or not. I think I will go ahead
Mhm.
and do that, because, and then go to him with kind of hard numbers of hours and people that I think I need, because
Mhm.
he's obviously not doing it, and I don't want to work overtime.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and really kind
Mhm.
of come to him, more often with that.
Is there a conversation in the middle that maybe needs to happen or would be beneficial to happen? Like going, and I don't know your work environment or if this would be helpful or something that shouldn't happen, but going to them exactly with what you just said and saying, we've talked about this before, and is this something that you want to do, or would it be helpful for me to kind of let you know, like, this is kind of getting too much, the project, and I'm working a lot of overtime, and this is the manpower I think I'm going to need behind me. Like, is that your job, or is that something you want me to do?
Yeah, I kind of had
Kind of had that conversation
conversation,
already.
not quite that specific. I'm afraid if I said like those exact words, he'd be offended. And I think part of it is that he's really not as approachable as maybe I would like to think that he is, or he would like to think that he is.
Mm,
Um, and I've gotten some of that confirmation from other people on the team that I've talked to.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah. So, are there any practical things that you think you'll be able to do to kind of lessen the anger, the frustration, being overwhelmed?
Yeah,
sounds like you have great communication skills. You're very aware of what's going on at your job and what's needed. Sounds like you're very efficient at your job. I think you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
So these are a lot of great things that you have going for you. It looks like it's just this relationship with your boss that maybe it would be beneficial just to kind of experiment, between now and our next session with what's working between him and you, and just taking into account your frustration levels, when you're feeling overwhelmed, and that anxiety and angst between y'all, and just kind of see what sort of techniques are helping bring those levels down, what works in communicating with him, because it sounds like you know how to do it. You're just kind of frustrated that you're not seeing results when you're doing it.
Right. That's true.
So do you think between now and then you can kind of experiment with the way you're communicating with him, see what the best way for him to receive that will be?